Hey there, my name is Kelly Cano. I'm a superstar director in El Paso, Texas. And today I'm coming to talk to you guys about the recruiting conversation, the join conversation, the sharing your opportunity. This is one of my favorite things to do because I love to bless people's lives, and we have this amazing gift at our fingertips that we can share the opportunity. And I want you to think about, sometimes people do not join Scentsy because extra money. Scentsy can bless people's lives because it's a form of community. It's a sisterhood, a brotherhood. It helps maybe get there. It's like their fun job. There's a lot of reasons that people join outside of money. So really, really think about that when you are starting to write your list and start having conversations about joining. The very first thing you can do before you can even have a conversation is know who you're going to have a conversation with. So what I want you to do is and even if you have to pause the video, that's fine. I want you to do it right now, because if you finish with the video, life happens and you forget and then you don't come back to it. So right now, even if you pause it, I want you to write a list of at least 20 to 50 people that you would love to have on your team. And I want you to keep building upon this. So we've talked about a list of 100, or maybe you have already written your list of 100, but it's really important to have an ongoing list. And this goes for not just offering, asking people to buy Scentsy or to host, but this also goes to join. So I'm going to give you a minute I want you to really think about 20 to 50 people that you can write on the list. Then when you're done with that list, what I want you to do is, next to their name, I want you to write how Scentsy could enrich their life. And remember, I said it's not always about the money. Maybe they are struggling with money, and that would be what you would write there. Maybe they are lost. Maybe they just, maybe they're having some health issues and can't work. Maybe they're having, they're empty nesters and they're lost. Maybe they just need a little fun and excitement in their life. Maybe they just love Scentsy so much that you think this would be a perfect opportunity. Whatever it is, next to every single name, I want you to write down how Scentsy could enrich their life. Okay, again, pause the video if you have to. And then the last thing I want you to do in regards to the list is I want you to write down some characteristics or attributes that they have that you think would benefit them in selling Scentsy, right? So let me clarify that in case that confuses you a little bit. Maybe you think that they have a great personality and that would make them a great Scentsy consultant. Maybe they are very outgoing. Maybe they know a lot of people. Maybe they are socialites. I mean, whatever the case may be, that would be, I want you to write that down, because you're going to hear the word no. If you think that you're just going to message people and say, hey, have you thought about joining Scentsy? And they're going to say, yeah, I have. Where do I sign up? You're kidding yourself, because this isn't going to happen. The chances are you're going to have this conversation with the same people multiple times before they are ever going to say, yes, they're going to join your team. And we'll talk about that in a minute as far as following up with them as well. So once you have your list, now it's time to talk about the conversation. And I love the conversation because it's a relationship business. We can't just go in, there's no script. You really can't it can't be so black and white to say this every time and you're going to have great success. It's not like that. It's building relationships with people. And I love that because I love to socialize with people. I've had to change the script a little bit and change my perspective because I've never been great about meeting people and conversating with people online. It's never been my forte. But since the whole pandemic, I have very well learned how to meet people and how to conversate and really start building that relationship with them online. And so what I do is I have a very big goal. And I want you guys to make a goal. And I want it to be a big goal. I don't want it to just be, well, I'm going to talk to one person a month. Because if you're going to talk to one person a month, you're probably going to recruit maybe like 2 or 3 a year. That's it. The more people that you talk to, the more people that you're going to have join your team. So my big scary goal right now is 10 people a day that I'm talking to 5 days a week. I give myself the weekends off. So 10 people a day, 5 days a week, that's 50 people a week that I'm talking to. And so I want you to write down whatever that goal looks like for you. Clearly, it's not going to be the same as my goal, but write it down. Tell your upline, tell your sponsor, tell your spouse, your significant other, write it down, whatever. You need to have some sort of accountability partner, because when it's in front of your face or you have somebody constantly reminding you about this goal, you're going to make it happen. And the more you do it, the easier it gets and the more natural it becomes, right? So let's talk about the conversation. I say something extremely simple, and I already mentioned it a couple of times, but I'm going to say it again. Hey, so-and-so, have you ever thought about joining Scentsy for extra money? The end. That's it. It's that simple. You don't want to verbal vomit on them. You don't want to give them too much information, because you're going to tune them off. You're going to tune them. They're going to tune you out. That's, my words are not flowing. They're going to tune you out, and you're going to scare them off. And you don't want to do that, because people are not going to retain all the, well, you start earning 20%, and they're not going to know, they're not going to need to know all that information. All you need to do is pique their interest, get them to sign up, and then train them bit by little, right? And so when you just ask, have you ever thought about joining Scentsy for extra money? It becomes very, very simple. Now, if you haven't talked to somebody ever on Facebook, do you think it's a good idea to just jump in and say, hey, so-and-so, have you ever thought about joining Scentsy for extra money? They're going to ignore you. They're probably going to block you or unfriend you. And that's going to be that. So that's not what we're here to do. We're here to build relationships. We're here to have a conversation. So if you've never talked to somebody, or it's been a long time that you've talked to somebody, go look on their Facebook profile, go look on their Instagram profile, see what they're doing, see what they're up to. Hey, I saw you were at the beach. How was the weather? How was it? Was it crowded? You know, whatever. Ask open-ended questions. That's the best way to do it, because when you ask open-ended questions, they're going to answer. And then that lends you to ask another question, and then they're going to answer. And then the conversation begins naturally flowing. So make sure that you're not in one sentence saying, hey, so-and-so, I saw you were at the beach. How was the weather? Have you ever thought about joining Scentsy for extra income? I mean, they're going to just ignore you completely. So little bits at a time. Okay. So remember, have a conversation just like you would in person. Do it online. If you're fortunate enough to be able to have those face-to-face conversations right now, then by all means do it. Have phone conversations. People still like phone conversations. Do voice texting. I love voice texting, because then they get to hear my voice. They hear a little bit more of my personality. And a lot of times they'll respond via voice text too. And then I get to hear them and their excitement and their demeanor, right? So try different things, try different avenues. Look at Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, look at all the things and try different, I guess, social media outlets, I guess, or avenues, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so we talked about making a list. We talked about making a goal of how many people you want to talk to. We talked about what to say and keep it really, really simple. The last thing I want to talk to you about is follow-up, because remember I said at the beginning, you're not going to ask somebody, hey, have you ever thought about joining Scentsy? And they say, yes, where do I sign up? The likelihood is very, very unlikely that that's going to happen. So you're going to have to follow up. So find a system that works for you. I love pen and paper. I also love my phone because it's always with me, but I kind of do a combination of both. But my favorite thing, since we've been home more often, is my follow-up binder. And I just label it my sponsoring binder. So what I do is I just get 10 pieces of paper every single morning, and I put them in the front of my binder. Okay. And that way I remember that I have to have my 10 conversations that day. I write their name up at the top of the paper, and I write the date, and then I write what, how I contacted them. Was it Facebook? Was it social media? Was it a voice text? What was it? How did I contact them? And then I leave them in this little folder here at the front. I get these at Dollar Tree, super easy. I just put it here in this folder. And then I leave it there for the end of the day, because most of the time they'll get back to me that day, and then I can follow up and write whatever notes that I have with that person. Then at the end of the day, I just file them by alphabetical order by first name. And then that way on Fridays, I follow up because I have to have scalable systems that keep me on track to consistently follow up. Because if not, then I'm going to be doing all this for nothing. Okay. The consistency and the fortune is in the follow-up. All those things are very, very important when you are starting to build your business. So I have one of those for new recruits, and then I have another one very similar. I have a spreadsheet with all the people that I have previously sponsored in my 11 years with Scentsy. Now, you may or may not have anybody that has gone inactive with Scentsy and can reinstate, but that doesn't mean that another person that had joined Scentsy a while back under somebody else, they could still reinstate under you. As long as they've been inactive for at least 6 months, they can still reinstate under you. So maybe it's a good idea for you to go post on your Facebook and say, hey, have you ever, any past consultants interested in rejoining? Did you know you could come back for free? Because a lot of times they don't know that they can come back for free. So don't think that, well, I've only been in Scentsy a month or 2 months or whatever, and I don't have any people that could reinstate under me. That's absolutely not true. So whatever it is, I want you to get a follow-up binder or system of some kind so that you're not wasting your time when you're having all these conversations and then not following up with them. So make sure you make your list, you set a goal, you have conversations, build relationships, and follow up. And I wish you the very, very, very best of luck in blessing other people's lives. Have a great day, guys.